There's a moment, you've probably had it 100 times. You're sitting alone, the room is quiet, and your cat walks in. Not because they need something, not because it's feeding time. They just walk in. They look at you, and for a second, you wonder what's actually behind those eyes. Most people assume the answer is simple. Cats are beautiful, mysterious, a little aloof. People say they don't really care, that they'd be just as happy with anyone who filled the bowl. But what if that's one of the most wrong things we've ever believed about them? What if your cat has been communicating with you every single day? Through sound, through behavior, through things that look strange on the surface, and you've been missing almost all of it. Not because you don't love them, but because nobody ever taught you the language. Let's start with something most people never think about. Your cat does not live in your world. They live in a completely different one. Same house, same couch, same late afternoon light through the window, but an entirely different reality underneath all of it. When you look across a room, you see faces, details, fine edges. Your brain processes it all instantly, and you've forgotten that it's even happening. Your cat can't do that. What they see is closer to a painting that hasn't dried yet. Soft shapes, moving outlines. Anything within about 10 inches of their face is essentially a warm blur. Which is why your cat will sometimes stare directly at a treat sitting in your open palm like it doesn't exist. They genuinely cannot see it there. Their eyes weren't built for still, close detail. They were built for motion. The smallest twitch, the lightest shift of shadow, a moth swing, your finger moving slightly across the room. Their eyes catch all of it before your conscious mind would even register something moved. But here's what that means for how they actually know you. Your cat doesn't recognize your face the way you recognize theirs. They don't carry a mental photograph of you. When you lean in close, all they see is a familiar shape, soft, large, and completely out of focus. What they recognize instead is something harder to fake. The specific rhythm of your footsteps in the hallway. The sound your voice makes when you're calm versus when something's wrong. The way you move on a regular morning versus when you've had a hard day. And most of all, the exact smell of your skin, which to a cat carries more information than your face ever could. Your cat doesn't have a picture of you in their mind. They have the feeling of you, the entire sensory pattern of you. And the moment it enters a room, they know, before you speak, before you turn on a light, that it's you. Think about that the next time your cat lifts their head from across the house, the moment you walk through the door. That's not them checking for food. That's recognition, built over years, piece by piece, just from paying attention. Animal behaviorist John Bradshaw spent years studying how cats think about the world around them. And what he found was almost too simple to believe. Cats never developed a separate mental category for humans. Dogs did. Over thousands of years, dogs came to understand that humans are different. They read our faces, they follow our pointing. They adapted to us in ways that even chimpanzees can't fully match. Cats took a completely different path. When a cat rolls onto their back in front of you, fully exposed, not playing, just flop down in the middle of the afternoon because you walked by, they are showing you something they protect completely in every other context. When they show it to you without being asked, that is a statement. It says, I feel so safe right now, in this moment, in your presence, that I can be completely unguarded. For a long time, the science on cats was limited. Most of what we believed about the cat-human bond was assumption. Then, in 2019, that changed. Researchers at Oregon State University brought cats into an unfamiliar room with their owner. Then they removed the owner for 2 minutes, then brought them back. What they were looking for was something called a secure attachment response, the same pattern a securely bonded infant shows when reunited with their mother. More than 60% of the cats showed exactly this. When their owner left, they became stressed, vocal, withdrawn. When their owner returned, they settled, relaxed, went back to the world. The scientific community wasn't expecting that. What that study revealed is this. Your cat hasn't just gotten used to you. They have wired you into their nervous system as a regulating presence. Your existence in a room physically changes how their body processes threat and stress. The world becomes smaller and safer because you are standing in it. That is not a casual preference. That is a deep bond. Here's something you probably haven't noticed. Your cat watches you more than you watch them. You're cooking and they're in the doorway. You're at your desk and they settle just close enough to keep you in their sightline. You shift positions and they lift their head. Confirm, still you, still here, and then set it back down. They do it while you sleep too. Your cat at 3 a.m. sitting near you, not asking for anything, not waiting for anything, just present, keeping proximity to the thing they decided is home. Research has consistently found that cats respond to their owner's emotional state in measurable ways. Cats exposed to their owner's anxious expressions show more anxious behavior themselves. Cats whose owners are calm move through a space with more confidence. They are reading you. They notice when something is off, and they stay. Put it all together and something emerges. Your cat came into your life and began a project. The project was you. They cataloged the rhythm of your footsteps, the sound of your breathing when you fall asleep, the way you carry yourself on a good day versus a hard one. The thousand small details that together form something completely unique. And then they organized their world around it. They chose where to sleep based on where you are. They adjusted their rhythms around yours. They developed sounds no other cat has ever made, in the language that only exists between the two of you. All of this without being trained to, without being asked. Cats are selective with trust. When a cat chooses you, they are not choosing you casually. They're choosing you with full awareness of exactly who you are, not who they wish you were. You. There's probably a cat somewhere near you right now. And after everything we've talked about, the world they live in, the language they built, the science of what your presence does to their nervous system, maybe you're thinking about them a little differently. Your cat didn't choose the broad shape of their life, but inside all of that, they made something private, a relationship, built not from obligation, not from training, but from something that looks an awful lot like choosing. They meow at you in a voice that never existed before you. They mark you as theirs with a gesture meant for cats. They slow blink across a quiet room. They come and find you when the world feels uncertain, not because they have to, because you became something to them. Something their nervous system recognizes before their eyes can even focus. Something that, in whatever way a cat understands home, feels like home. So the next time your cat walks into the room and looks at you, look back. Slow blink if you feel like it, because they've been trying to tell you something this whole time. And now you know what it is.